So let's go inside the worker. So as I mentioned, that worker is specific to single object. So now we just focus on syncing single object, right? So we have ran this sync method. So we go inside. First thing is, now we are assuming that we don't need to resync this object. So our resync needed is false as of now. Then we check like whether this object is, so this is wrongly written here. Actually, it should return whether we should soft delete or not. So when first we check whether this object is soft deletable or not, and how we check that, what are the conditions for that, let's check that. So if some object is replicatable, like we are able to fetch deletes for that record, right? So this is one condition to be object that can be hard deleted. And other thing is, uh, this should not be a resync. Like the sync that we are doing, it should not be a resync for this object, or not the initial sync for this object, right? The other thing, there are also some small things there. This object should not also should not be the history object. So this is also one thing. Why this is, I'm not sure about that. And this is also the small thing that is not needed to be understood now, because this thing is freezed as of now. So uh, whether this object is hard delete or not, it's decided on three things. First thing is whether this object is replicatable, uh, whether we are doing we should not do resync for this object in this current sync, that this current sync should not be the resync or initial sync for this object. And the third thing is this object should not be history table in Salesforce. So these if the all these conditions are true, then we go inside this and we checks the thing whether the last deleted for this object and the current time, the difference between the last deleted and the current time should not be more than 15 days. This is the delete retention policy in Salesforce. Like if you are trying to fetch the records for more than 15 days, you might not get the complete records. So you can read this log: requesting deleted records for the time more than retention period, which is 15 days. We need to resync this table, right? So this is the condition that we are checking. So now if we check that we need to resync this table, we return from worker, we mark resync needed as true. And if you go inside that code here, in which we have done worker.sync, here this condition will trigger, and we go inside this condition and we resync the object. Okay, so at start we first seen whether whether we want deletes for more than 15 days. If we want, then we resync this object instead of going ahead with this sync. Okay, so to continue more on that, so now there is something called max extensions to sync. I'm not sure about this, so I'll not discuss that because I'm not 100% sure what this thing is. I'll directly jump into this method called as update method, how we will update the object. So first thing, for an object, if you think about is, first for an object we need to create a schema in the warehouse. So for creating a schema, first we do assert schema, right? Now in assert schema, we like this is very simple function. Like every connector will do this before syncing. So first we assert the schema, we update the formulas. So how we update the formulas, Shiva will tell you a bit more about this later. Then we need to decide what should be the since and until for this object. Like we have this object, but we doesn't know where to start and where to end for this object. So for getting the since, where to start this object, like at from which time we need to fetch the objects, we get this from last modified. So if you go to the state, you can clearly last modified time of the last record we sync for each table. So this is stored in the state. So we get this if nothing is there in the state, if this object is not there in this, then we consider this as initial sync. Like we consider the instant dot epoch as the start time, and our end time will be until will be the sync start, like the current time. So we have prepared our since and until. Now we know that between this time we want all the records for this sync. Now we check whether this is an initial sync. To know whether this sync is an initial sync or not for this table, We simply check whether the since is equal to epoch or not. If since is equal to epoch, then we can say that this is the initial sync. Now we know that this is the initial sync. So we update some things like need soft delete. So why we have updated that, we will discuss it later. Why we have updated this thing like need soft delete in state, and we have added this object and sync start. We will discuss it, and we also update state for last deleted. Why we have done that, we will discuss it later. Now let's suppose this is incremental sync and not the initial sync. So uh, now we have a loop for it. Now I'll try to explain you by something. So let's suppose this is since and this is until. We need to fetch the record for since and till until. So what we do, till since we have one end here. Like this end can be anything, right? What we do, first time we sync from since to end, right? Next time we sync from, now we make our, now next time what we do, we will make our end as since, and we have new end here, right? Next time again we make our end as since, and we move till until. So unless and until we have gone till until, you can unless and until since is before until, we will do this stuff. Now the one thing here is how we calculate this. How do we calculate this end? What is this space? How do we calculate this space? We have calculated this space, but we are not able to calculate this space. Okay, so what we do, right? So first we assume that this space, the end will be similar as until, right? If you see from the code, you can see that end is equals to step dot map since dot plus, right? What it means is like, what it means, just a second. Yeah, so our step is empty now. uh yeah, so in that, we what we do, so in that case our end will be empty, so our end will be same as until, right? So let's suppose at first time we will try from since to until, right? And then we update the window for that. So this is the window for us. So we'll try to update the window, right? Let's suppose we tried to update this window from since to end, and we failed to do that. We got some exception like too much data exception, unexpected end of file, or read timeout, whatever the exception we got. Then we decrease this window. We decrease this whole window by some exponential time. I'm not sure about the logic, like how we decrease it. Like we decrease it mostly by the factor of 2 or something. So we decrease this window. So now let's suppose in the initial, now we are syncing and we got some exception. So now what we do, our we decrease the window. Now our end will look something like this. And our window, we have calculated this space. This is our new window. And where we have calculated that, we have calculated here at step. So there is some logic there. I'm not 100% sure about this logic. So in this way, we will move ahead in the fashion I have explained. I have explained before. So this only happens. The window shortening only happens in case of exceptions. Else, we will try to sync from since to end, like from since to until complete duration. Okay, so this is the thing. Now let's suppose, now we so what happens after we do sync? So let's suppose this window is updated. Let's suppose this window is updated. Now after updating this window, we do couple of more things. We first mark the last checked, as Shiva told, like we have to mark the last checked as the time whenever we check this object, irrespective of whether we synced the records of this object or not. We will save the current time in the last checked. We save the state. We invalidate old records and we update hard deleted. Now what are these things? We'll discuss it a bit after a bit more time. uh, Now we will go through this update window method. Now in update window method, we have decided we have to sync from this time to this time. But how we fetch the records and how we do upserts and updates, that we need to go through. So if we go through this method, update window method. Now first we log this information. So this is very important log. So regarding the debugging point of view, consider this log as a very important log. So for some object, if you want to know like from which time to which time we synced this object, just type updating space and the name of the object in the New Relic. Then you will get to know this what is the since time and what is the end time for that object, and you will know like we have updated the window, this window for this object. So this is important log, and this should be considered while debugging. Okay, so that is one thing. Now first we decide whether we should split the query or not. So what splitting means? Let me show you one example. What splitting means? So let's suppose there is one object called as object one, and it has some fields f1, f2, f3, and f4. Right? So we try to now, in normal cases, uh, we try to sync this object. Like how we sync this object? We do select uh, f1, f2, f3, f4 from object one. Right? This is the normal case that we do. But what happens if we try to query this and Salesforce tells us this thing is very large, the fields you are giving is very large, so we can't do this kind of thing. So in split cases we have to do two queries. The one query we have to do is select f1 comma f2 from object 1 and select f3 comma f4 from object 1. So in this way we fetch the f1 and f2 fields of this object by one query and f3 and f4 by other query, and then we combine both the results of that and we update or upsert accordingly. So this is what the split means. So we decide whether we should split this or not based on the query size. So if this feature flag is on, and we should so there is condition like if the query length that we are trying to make, if that query length, the characters in that are greater than 20,000 and the feature flag is on for this thing, then we will do split thing, right? So this is one thing to consider, and we do this recursively. So let's suppose when we ran this query we get some exception like split query kind of some exception, then we split it again. So we do this recursively. So that is one thing. Okay, so now we have decided whether we should split or not. After that, this thing is not important as of now because this thing is freezed. We'll discuss it sometime later in history mode. Now, yeah, so this is important thing. Now in Salesforce, there are some objects that are implementation restricted objects. So what I mean by implementation restricted objects is that when you try to do query for those objects in this manner, so this is the object. When we try to query some objects in this manner, so then Salesforce gives us implementation restricted error. Some error Salesforce gives us. We can't sync those objects in this fashion. So in the what we have to do for this object is that we have to add extra condition here. So select f1 f2 from object 1 where parent id is equals to some id, or same thing where parent id in id1 comma id2 comma id3. So in that way, so there are two ways now for those objects to syncing these objects, this implementation restricted object. There are two ways to sync those, either by this stuff or either by this. So if we do sync by this method, then it may take a lot of queries to do this because it can happen. So how we will do this? First, we do an API call to get all the IDs of the parent. Now, let's suppose we have all the IDs of the parent. So let's suppose we have done one API call, select ID from parent, right? Now that will give us some IDs, ID1, ID2, ID3, and so on. So we have all the parent IDs, right? So let's suppose we have gone with this strategy. So if there are 1000 parent IDs we get, then we have to do this API call 1000 times because it is only single thing is present here. But if we selected this strategy, we can add multiple parent IDs in the single API call. Like we can add ID1, ID2, ID3 in the single API call. Whether in this case we have to do 3 API calls, in this case we have to do single API. So in this way, we will sync this implementation restricted objects. And but this thing is under the feature flag, and there are some improvement possibilities here. We are considering that too. So you can see the code for this here. I'll not go into the details of the code because the code is a bit complex for that. So basic idea behind the code is this, like what I explained above.
Yeah,
So
that's all clear. That's all clear.
okay. So now this is one type of object. Now we just return from this return if implementation restricted object is there. So this is one type of object. Now what happen if the object is not of this type? The object is simple normal object. Okay, so now what we do, we first try to update the window. Now let's say while trying to update the window, we get this exception, too many fields exception. We mark query splitted as true. As I mentioned that this exception can be came, and we try to update the window again. So now we will see how this update window function will look like. And also after this, after all this stuff, uh, we update this last modified and save the state for this window.